Happy Black History Month, everybody! I am so excited to share a new project with you guys. I have put together some information on how we can start some new Black history. And for those of you who don't know me, I have a creative career and I want to share with people other creative careers that exist. Throughout my time in the fashion industry, I've met so many people and I'm like, wait, that's your job? You get paid to do that? Like, what? That exists? Like, these are things that as a kid I never knew that you could do. So I want to start sharing that information, whether you're a young person, you're in middle school, high school, whatever, or you just want a career change. Check out my page. I am going to be posting at least 3 to 4 videos every day about new creative and interesting careers that you guys could do. So they won't be all in fashion, they'll be in all kind of industries. So I'm really excited to share with you guys, and let's make some new Black history. Thank you guys. So of course, I'm going to start off with my career. I am a fashion designer and I have previously worked a lot in clothing and apparel, but now working on my own handbag line. So a lot of people think, ooh, fashion glamorous, yay. Nope, we're talking about the money side of fashion, and that means private labels / more corporate fashion companies that produce product. Yes, mass production, but doesn't always have to be fast fashion. So a lot of times there are brands or companies such as like a Macy's or a Dillard's, whatever. They come to a vendor or a factory and they might see, it depends on the brand, or the factory, they might have a collection that they present, or they might say, these are some of ideas, concepts that we could do, that we could start manufacturing for you if you would like us to do that. Or sometimes brands come with their own ideas. Either way, you produce the product, you would check up on the factory, make sure you get all your buttons, trims, zippers, whatever, go to fittings, check the product, check when the samples come in, all of that jazz. And it's actually really busy, really high paced, a lot of moving parts all the time, and you have to be really organized, but it's actually extremely fun. And I loved my time doing that and I really enjoyed it, but now I'm doing it for myself, which is even more exciting. I'm working like 18 hours a day, but beyond the point. So a lot of people, when you start off, you make anywhere between like 45K to 40K as an assistant. And as you move up the ladder, you obviously make more money. You can move up next to an associate position. That's anywhere between like somewhere between 60 to 70, in that range. Then you would move up to a designer level, which can be anywhere between 90 to like 100 and some change. Once you get up to a senior design position, you could definitely get anywhere between like 120, 150. It depends on how much work, but just be aware, they want their pound of flesh. If you're going to be making like 150, they want you to answer calls in the middle of the night and talk to overseas factories. Like, they want to have your life. I digress. But I mean, if you are down, you can move up to the director level, and that is where the money is. You could make anywhere between like 200 to 300K depending on your company, the bonuses, and yeah, it's a huge industry that not that many people know about. So private label, corporate side of fashion exists, and yeah. But anyway, I'm out of that now. I have my own handbag line. Check out the rest of my stuff and my link in bio. That is my personal brand and page. But yeah. So another creative career I want to share with you guys is actually art director. This career is available in a lot of different industries besides fashion. But I think there's marketing, film, publicist, all type of industries. Basically what this person is doing is they are in charge of making sure that the brand continues to look cohesive. They could assist on photo shoots, could assist on creating a campaign for the commercial, all of the visuals and all of that, but they also need to make sure that if you have, for example, an edgy rocker themed group or collection, that you make sure that the collection still holds that vibe, like throughout the social media, throughout the TikToks, throughout the YouTube channel. All of that still needs to have a same cohesive vibe. So they are in charge of making sure that continues, and also they could do other things. I have a friend, for example, he works in the more high-end side of fashion, and he travels to Paris or Milan and does photo shoots behind the scenes and also captures some other good content for like social media so that they can show what's leading up to the show, blah blah blah. And then he also works on creating a visual guide of how he wants to put together a commercial, a campaign, and he would create mood boards and also some imagery to show the actual, you know, creative designer of the rest of the fashion line, and they would make sure that it's cohesive, color wise, theme wise, that everything works and flows together. And this is also something that imagery for the website, that all of that is tied in together and it has to fit the company's ethos or the company's like spirit. So yeah, that is a creative career that exists, and it's actually pretty cool. You could be an assistant art director and work your way up and get to that level, and it pays very well. The next career I want to talk about is a product photographer. So most of you, like all of us, have shopped online and you see like the perfect beautiful photo and like there's no background, everything's clean and white, and you wonder how they get that. Sometimes they use a product photographer. So you would take all of your products there, you would make sure to steam stuff, have things already ready and prepped, and then they would tape things up, and they do different tips and tricks on how to photograph something well. So you could either own the studio and pay an in-house photographer, or you could get your own studio and you could be the in-house photographer. So either way, you could work with clients, you could do lookbooks and photo shoots and the fashion side, and you can also do things like skincare and small products that need to be placed. And there's so many interesting videos here online of like people putting sand and like adding a little shadow and all of these kind of things. So it's an interesting career that you can have, and you can be paid additional money once you start editing the photos. If you offer that service, that's more money. So yeah, product photography is a very interesting career. So the next creative career is fashion photographer. A lot of people don't realize that fashion photography could be different things, but I'll just explain a few that I know. I have a friend who does fashion photography, and sometimes he goes to Paris, Milan, wherever, and he shoots, like I was saying before, some of the behind the scenes. That's kind of how he started. He was shooting some of the behind the scenes of the photo shoot. There's also people who are at the end of the runway who are shooting. Those are more freelance, but that is a position where they're shooting, they're being paid by Vogue Runway or other fashion sites to obtain those photos, and that's money right there. You could also do street fashion photography and come up with your own book. You have to be a little bit more of a hustler, like you have to be able to mingle and like talk to people if you wanted to go down this path, because you have to be able to sell yourself. The other side of it is also the fashion photographer who's working with brands and either doing lookbooks and doing campaigns, who works for the art director, like he comes in and freelances for the art director. And then there's the other side where you could work at a magazine and you could be doing a lot of the campaigns and a lot of the shoots for like multiple, you know, ad layouts for whatever the art director of the magazine has laid out for you. But both of those are very lucrative options, and I mean, the money is endless. There's actually even another side of it, which I just remembered now. There is a girl on TikTok, which I'll at her, but she is a fashion photographer and she does a lot of stuff with people. I guess she does social media, and she also does like some of the product fashion photography. She is, I guess, more of an independent contractor, but homegirl is living a really nice life, and she's going around with models or with a company that has already scheduled her to go to do this, especially during this COVID. She's been able to go around and photograph people in their neighborhood or just outside doing things for their own social media, and you could do that for small influencers that you know in your own town. Like, that's an amazing opportunity to make money that way. And yeah, you could be a freelancer or you could do that full-time for a magazine or something like that. So the next creative career is graphic design. There's multiple levels of it. You could be graphic design in fashion or out of fashion. So some of the examples of out of fashion would be album covers, there's people who do graphic design for packaging, there's people who do graphic design for logos, people who do graphic design for, you know, social media, email blast, all of that kind of stuff. And then there's the other side of graphic design where you are doing graphic tees or helping with like prints and things like that, to where you would be working closely with a designer or the design team, and you would be there every day or freelance, and you would be coming up with logos based on the colors, the theme, the mood that the team has already set out for the collection. So that is one side of it. And then there's also like all of the social media stuff. Like someone puts together this campaign, someone works that, you could work with a PR company, you could work with a marketing company. So yeah, that's a very interesting thing that I didn't really know until I was actually on my second job in the industry, and I met someone who at the company was doing that position. So it was very cool. And seeing it, you know, they're sketching, sometimes they're designing their own fonts, they're even painting stuff. So if you're an artist, you could actually be painting things and doing things with your hands, scanning it in, putting it in the computer and making it come to life. And having something come to life and you actually see the thing that you produced it's freaky and it's amazing, and you're just like, I did that. What? It's real? So anyway, thank you guys for checking out this video, and I'm gonna have another video really soon. Bye.